You guys have to try to get a couple seats back there. I'm not saying move over. You got two empty spots right here. I'm gonna need you on one spot here. Oh, everybody get in here. I can see you. That's you right there. Right there. Got you. Because in a minute, he's gonna have y'all to stand up, okay? Huh?
Okay, I'm ready. Are we ready?
We're ready, Judge. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County. My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court. I am not here to conduct a trial of your case or to take a plea in your case. I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you, to advise you of certain rights, to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail, to schedule a preliminary hearing, and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney. You have the right to remain silent and say nothing. But should you give up this right, anything you say during this proceeding may be used against you if your case goes to trial. So please don't discuss the facts of your case. During this and all other proceedings, you have the following rights: the right to the presumption of innocence, the right to indictment by a grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors, the right to a speedy and public trial by jury, the right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you, the right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your behalf, the right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense, the right to have an attorney represent you. If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you if you qualify. Some of you will be allowed to post unrestricted bonds for your release from jail. These bonds may be by cash, commercial, or property. If you post a cash bond, someone will deliver the full amount of the bond and fees in cash to the sheriff's office. The sheriff's office will hold the cash and return it at the end of the case. If you use a commercial bonding company, someone will have to pay a fee to the company for their service. The fee will not be returned. I don't know what fee will be charged, but is usually based upon a percentage of the bond. Finally, if you use property to post a bond, the property will need to have a net equity at least 3 times the total amount of the bond. Some of you will have special conditions on your bond that prohibit you from contacting certain people or going to certain places. This special condition will be provided to you on a separate form. You will also be prohibited from contacting the victim while you are in jail. If you violate the court's order, your bond will be revoked and you can remain in jail until your trial. You could also receive additional felony charges. It is important to note that if someone is listed as a victim in your case, that person will not be allowed to post your bond. Some of you are charged with offenses for which this court is not authorized by law to set bail. In this event, a bond hearing will be scheduled before a judge of the Superior Court of Clayton County, and you will be informed of that date. If you are currently on active probation, this court is not authorized to set bond at this time. Whether bond is appropriate in your case will be reconsidered after your probation officer has had an opportunity to consider this new arrest. The purpose of a preliminary hearing is to determine whether there is sufficient evidence to support the allegations against you. The standard at this stage is very low. A judge determining whether a charge goes forward at this stage only has to determine that it is possible that the crime occurred. Excuse me. Everyone has the ability to waive their right to a preliminary hearing. However, you should speak to a lawyer first if you are unsure about whether it is appropriate to waive your preliminary hearing. If you post bond, your preliminary hearing is automatically waived. You will receive notice at the address you give of your next court date. Finally, I need everyone to raise your right hand.
Everybody stand up, stand up, stand up. Everybody stand up.
Do you swear or affirm that any statements you make during this proceeding will be the truth, the whole truth, so help you God? Okay, I'm ready to go when we're ready with the ladies.
You could turn your monitor toward the wall. Turn your monitor toward the wall. Judge, you're gonna start with the females first?
Yes, sir.
Come on. Down there and give the judge your name, okay? Tell the judge your name.
Crystal Chandler.
Okay. Ms. Chandler, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce, violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. The bond for the marijuana charge is $1,500, and I've set the bond for the other 2 offenses at $5,000 apiece. So you're gonna have a total bond of $11,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, man?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're gonna also have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. It's gonna say room 201, but that's gonna be over Zoom, like we're having here today. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, you do qualify, Ms. Chandler. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Scarlett Brigham.
You gotta speak up. Speak up.
Scarlett Brigham.
Okay, Ms. Bigham, you've been charged with 1 count of failure to change the address on your license, 1 count of a class violation on your license, 1 count of an unlawful use of license. The bond for each of those are going to be set at $500 apiece. You've also been charged with giving a false name, address, or date of birth. The bond is going to be set at $2,000 for that. So you're going to have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th. So that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify. Ms. Bingham, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Next step up. Loud and proud. Give your name loud and proud. Judge. Ma'am, come on, ma'am.
Tierra Chan.
Let me get your, you go.
Ma'am, you've been charged with one count of affray, which is basically fighting in public. The bond is set at $1,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And I'm also gonna put a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from a Maisha White. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 13th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Erica Duke.
Okay, Ms. Dukes, you've been charged with one count of driving a vehicle without a license and one count of giving a false name, address, or date of birth. The license charge, the bond is going to be set at $1,000. The other charge, the false name, the bond is going to be set at $2,000 for a total bond of $3,000. Do you believe you can pay that bond, man?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Dukes, did you fill out one of the forms?
Huh?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have it. You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Get your name out.
Samantha Baxter.
Ms. Baxter, you've been charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property, being a motor vehicle, and one count of driving a vehicle with no insurance. At this point, bond is going to be denied on the theft by receiving stolen property charge, but you're going to have a $1,000 bond set on the insurance count. You're going to have, hold on one second. I'm going to let you speak. You're going to have a bond set, a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning, and I'm setting a bond hearing date for April 16th. Now, what is it that you wanted to tell me, ma'am?
Your Honor, I didn't know anything about the vehicle being stolen, and whenever the officer pulled me over, you know, because I thought everything was legit, everything was good, because I asked my homeboy to use his truck to go get some food, and I went to Wendy's, and I got stopped, and you know, that I just pulled over like it nothing, and when they told me that the car was stolen, I gave the officer, I required everything that the officer asked me. I gave him the guy's name, the address, everything with the guy, because I didn't steal the vehicle. I wasn't trying to steal nobody's vehicle or anything like that. I was just trying to go get some food for my children. My mom had just had a heart attack. I'm supposed to be in Indiana with my mom right now, helping her. I was not trying to do anything or breaking no law or anything.
One of the things that factored into my decision to deny bond at this point is your extensive criminal history. It appeared that this is the third time that you've been arrested as it relates to being either in or driving a stolen vehicle. So the officer did list everything in the warrant application that you just told me. But the fact that this is,
With everything.
I'm sorry?
I said, yes, I was complying with everything. I wasn't trying to hold anything back, all information. I told him everything because I wasn't trying to be in any trouble. I was actually just set my ticket for Indiana to go help my mom because she just had a heart attack.
I understand that. I'm just explaining to you why I put a no bond on that charge. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Please, because I can't, honestly, Your Honor, I can't be in here like that. I gotta help my mom. I have 5 kids and I just came out of rehab and I've been doing good. I've been doing good. I haven't been on drugs, I haven't done anything, and this right here is just crazy to me because I just went to Wendy's, just go get food.
Ms. Baxter, I understand what you're telling me, but I'm explaining, do you understand my reasoning? I mean, I'm not asking you to agree with it, but do you understand why?
I understand, and you know, it's been a while ago since I got in any trouble. It's been a while.
Okay. You do qualify, Ms. Baxter. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. But at this time, I'm not going to change that no bond condition. The lawyer can work with the district attorney's office and they may agree to a bond.
Okay.
Okay? Is there anything else, ma'am?
All right, yes, sir.
Next.
Okay, you're free to go back, Ms. Baxter.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Amanda Flynn. Welcome.
I thought I saw. Ms. Flynn, were you in court yesterday?
No. I was supposed, no, I wasn't.
Okay. You're charged with driving a vehicle with a class violation on your license.
No, sir, I don't have any license.
I'm sorry. You are Amanda Nicole Flynn?
Yeah, but I don't have any license. I got charged with driving without a license.
Okay. The bond is set at $1,000 for that charge, and then there's another charge of driving on the wrong side of the road. Bond is going to be set at $500 for that.
Yes, sir. I don't have any family. I'm sorry. I don't have any family right now. My mom just got diagnosed with cancer. I'm supposed to start my job or whatever as soon as I get out of here. And I could pay a probation, or if you could at least let me out of here on probation, because I have a kid at home that needs me out there, and I'm not a violent. Or if you could lower my bond, because I don't have anybody to pay that has been on their job for long enough to come sign my bond. But if you can lower my bond, my cash bond, so my boyfriend can come up here and pay to get me out of here today.
These bonds are set by schedule. And what that means is that the judges got together and decided what bond amounts to place on this. And so when it's set by schedule, I don't change that because that's something that was a policy decision that was decided. So the bond is going to remain, total bond is going to remain at $1,500. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th, but that date will be waived upon your bonding out. I
have to sit here until April?
I would encourage you, ma'am, to contact the differing bonding companies and explain your situation and see who will work with you. Hold on one second, Ms. Flynn.
Don't look back, I'm telling y'all.
Ms. Flynn, did you fill out a form for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay.
Oh, did I? I did? Oh, yes, I did then.
Jesus Christ.
But why would I need a lawyer for 2 tickets?
You don't have to get a lawyer. You can represent yourself. You can hire your own lawyer, or if you qualify, one can be appointed to represent you. So if you don't want a lawyer, I'm not gonna force a lawyer on you.
I mean, I just don't, it's crazy that you're gonna make me sit here till April for those 2 little tickets. I mean, I could pay probation. You have bigger people that's doing bigger crimes than driving without no license. You could give me probation today and I could take care of the probation.
Miss Flynn, every time you drive without a license, you're gonna get arrested and the bond is gonna be $1,000. I explained to you why it's set that way.
Yes, sir. Okay, thank you.
Okay. You're free to go back, Miss Bernie. I'm sorry, Miss Flynn. Miss Bernie, if you're listening, I don't have a WAA for Miss Flynn, and I did not see an appointment of counsel form, but I did see a notation on the paperwork that comes from the sheriff's office that, as it relates to Miss Flynn, it said that she appeared at first appearance yesterday. So that's why I asked that question. So if you could try to find that for me, Miss Bernie, I would appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Tell me your name, ma'am.
Gerald Below.
Miss Lowe, you've been charged with 1 count of trafficking marijuana. And because your criminal history is, I think, 1 arrest, I've set a bond at $15,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
One question, if I try to qualify for a lawyer, but then get my own lawyer, can I drop the court-appointed lawyer?
Yes, you can.
Okay, let's do that.
Okay, you qualify, Ms. Lowe. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. But if you bond out, that hearing is going to be canceled. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Keep your hand behind your back. Keep your hand behind your back. Okay, speak your name loud and clear.
It's Taylor McCormick.
Put your hand behind your back.
Okay, Ms. McCormick, you've been charged with 1 count of simple battery. I've set the bond at $3,000 for that. And I've also put a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Cardamus Burkhead. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay. You do qualify, Ms. McCormick. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, ma'am?
No, I don't. Thank you so much.
Okay, you're free to go back. Thank you, Ms. Bernie.
All right.
I'm ready to speak. Well, you go next. Now state your name.
Your name, ma'am?
Huh?
What's your name?
Wanda Hyde, HYD.
Okay. Ms. Hyde, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. The bond is going to be set at $5,000 for that. You've been charged with 2 counts of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. The bond is set at $2,500 each.
What now? Battery and cruelty to who?
Give me 1 second. You are Miss Hyde, right? Wanda Gale Hyde?
Correct, sir.
Okay. So the 2 children are listed as Ariana Isom and Freddie Isom. And the victim is listed as Tiffany Carlisle.
Okay.
Do you know those individuals, man?
Yes, honey. Tiffany is my niece, and the 2 children are her children. Yeah.
So the allegation is that you you hit Tiffany, scarring her hand and her fingernails, or scratching her hands with your fingernails during a domestic disturbance.
Huh? No. Whoa. Wait a minute. This should be the other way around. I never put my hands on her.
Man, put your hands down now.
This is not the first time that she has pushed me down. I think it was this January. She's upset that I'm selling my trailer, and she gets mad at me, and she hollers and screams at me. So I talked to the lady, that day, was it yesterday? And she was telling me she was gonna buy my trailer. Tiffany heard me talking to the lady. And when I hung up from her, I could hear her in the kitchen, and my bedroom is like right off the kitchen. And, just her screaming and hollering and cussing and carrying on. I get up, I walk maybe 7 or 8 steps to the kitchen, it's been a little bit. She was sitting at the chair, at the table, wrong one. She was sitting at the chair there. I was standing here. And I was trying to ask her, what's going on? And she just kept cussing at me. So I just started to turn and walk away.
Let him talk.
How far did we get?
Let him talk. No, let him talk.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm gonna do my best.
Okay, so
Stand up so he can see you.
at this stage, the allegation is that there was a fight and that you scratched Tiffany and that her 2 children were there to watch it. Now, we're not at the stage of deciding whether what she said is true or false, or whether you're guilty or not guilty.
Okay.
If you want me to appoint you a lawyer, I can appoint you a lawyer so the lawyer can help you. Would you like for me to do that?
Will it be, did I have to stay in jail? I mean,
I have to set bond on these. So what I'm gonna do, ma'am, is I'm gonna give you.
can I interrupt you? I'm sorry, Judge. This lady weighs between 450 and 500 pounds. I got a lot of neurological orders in my legs and feet. How would it look like me trying to fight her? Does that make any common sense?
Ma'am, I'm not here to determine whether that actually happened. Do you understand that?
Okay, no, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Okay, so that's, if you want, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to help you, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna give you a total bond of $5,000 on these 3 charges, okay? You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be April 12th. I'm sorry, 13th, but that date will get moved upon your bonding out. Okay?
Uh-huh.
Now, do you have any other questions of me?
No question.
So for right now, it's a bond set. So how much would that be? Whatever the bond is, says it would be to get out?
The total bond right now is $5,000. You're going to have to either contact a bonding company. You can pay the whole amount in cash to the sheriff's department and they'll give the money back, or you can put up property to get out, okay?
Is it a certain percentage from the bonding companies?
Yes, but you're gonna have to call them so that they'll tell you what they're charged, okay?
Okay, now,
Okay, ma'am, you're free to go back if you don't have any other questions for me.
Sir, come on, man.
okay, these shoes are too small for my
I understand. Don't stand right here. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. Give me a minute.
I'm sorry, ma'am, what's your name?
Diana Adams.
Ms. Adams, you've been charged with 1 count of theft by conversion, where it says you rented an automobile and failed to return it.
Yeah, the automobile got crashed here a few weeks ago. Georgia police pulled me out of a near-death accident. And since then, I've been hospitalized and have brain swelling, brain trauma, spinal damage, and knee problems. The automobile, as well as the case, is at a law office here in Atlanta. And they're supposed to be taking care of everything like that, to deal with the car and everything. Also, my credit card got charged last week for the car, and my lawyers was handling everything as pertaining to the case and the car. So I'm not really sure what's going on.
So, ma'am, what kind of car was it?
It's the crash car, the Kia Forte. Somebody rear-ended it, and it can't leave Georgia, and I'm not even cleared to drive by doctors. So today I have a neurologist appointment. I have taken 6 pills a day since the accident, and it was just a near death. Literally, all this stuff is in the hands of a lawyer. So
did you say the car is with the lawyer too?
Well, the contract, and yeah, the lawyer has called them, and they have continued to charge my credit card as of the last week. Like, I can pull up the bank account and send me emails, just thank you for doing business. Okay, so I don't exactly know. I would have to speak to the law firm, but this car is not hidden. This car was not stolen. This car is a part of a lawsuit that has to be towed back in.
So, ma'am, according to the officer, you were stopped in the vehicle when you ran a red light.
Okay, I was going to get something to eat at that Checkers. I didn't see it as a red light. I saw it as a yellow, but I have a concussion. But I didn't see it as a red light. That could be part of my neurology appointment, which I missed today, which I'm being seen by an neurologist since the accident is a near-death accident. I literally have spine problems now, brain bleeding, and knees. This car, not only this case, is a part of coming out of a lawsuit. So before this happened, they should have called the law firm So I don't understand why they didn't call or contact the law firm, the lawyer taking care of it, and they charged my card for it last week. And they also have my number. They have never said anything about that.
Okay, ma'am, I'm gonna set a $20,000 bond on the theft by conversion count. And I'm gonna set a $500 bond on the red light violation. So the total bond is gonna be $20,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Is that as low or is that as reasonable as you can get it? Because no matter what, I still have medication I'm buying for the wreck. This is all just a part of, I guess, from the Georgia police, because the car was just in the wreck with the Georgia police. Of course, it had no issues then. So between me being at the doctor from that wreck and then today going to get food, this is what you said now pertains to it, which I don't even know the long spell of conversion. So if this is the best you can do.
Yes,
It's
ma'am.
too much. It's too much.
So theft by conversion means that you have somebody else's property that you lawfully possessed, and then at some point it became unlawful possession. So as it relates to rental cars, when there's a contract for the car to be returned on a certain date, it's your responsibility to contact the rental company and make sure that either they extend the rental or the car is returned.
Okay.
So hold on, let me finish.
Okay. I did do that. They told me take as long as you need with the accident. So all of this is a surprise with the lawyer.
Well, it says, ma'am, that the car was reported stolen to the Charlotte Mecklenburg Police Department on February 15th. And there's a case number for that report. So if they told you to take as long as you want.
And they just charged my card last week. So I'm glad you told me that date. I know that sounded odd. I literally just paid for this on my credit card last week, which we could pull up the statement, as well as my in and out patient treatments with the spinal doctor that I'm not even cleared to drive long distance, no more than 5 or 10 minutes for necessity, grocery store and food. Okay.
So ma'am, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
I just tried to say that.
You do qualify, ma'am. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Okay.
Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back, ma'am.
Okay.
I'll talk to you. Okay, Judge, that's it for the females.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Is Miss Flores, she's OTB,
Yes,
and Miss Gibson is OTB?
correct.
Okay, thank you. Have a good day.
You too, Judge.
Are we ready for the men?
Like I told you earlier,
State your name. Cordarius Alpha.
Okay, Mr. Alfred, you've been charged with 2 drug offenses and 1 count of possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. And I believe there are a number of people charged with the same offenses. I'm setting the bond for the 3 felony charges, which is the violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, 2 counts, and the possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime. I'm setting the bond for each of those at $10,000 apiece. And I'm setting $2,000 bond for the charge of obstructing an officer. So that's a total bond of $32,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
$32,000. What percentage of that gonna be, sir?
Probably about $3,000.
Like $3,000. Is there any way you can lower it a little bit more?
Not based upon these charges.
And I would not read my Miranda rights, sir, like, period. I also just asked me that last night when I came in, but I guess they'll do that whenever they, you know what I'm saying, do more investigation or whatever.
When it gets to the point of actually coming to court, that's when that becomes important. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah, you can, but I should be buying that though, if possible.
Well, there's not a connection between have a lawyer appointed and bonding. So you can represent yourself, you can hire a lawyer, or you can see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer.
Okay, I'll take an appointment for now.
Okay, you qualify, Mr. Alford. Like I said before, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date of April 12th. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Tell me your name, sir.
Amari Baptiste.
Mr. Baptiste, you've been charged with 1 count of driving on a suspended license. Bond is going to be set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Oh, it's fine.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Baptiste. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, sir. There's only one. You know, my license only been suspended so long because of the COVID situation, the pandemic. So I'm unable to get it unsuspended until the DeKalb County ordered me a mandatory see the judge, and like they telling me to just wait because of the everything's been done virtual. In my case, it's mandatory to see the judge because my license is suspended over a speeding ticket. So there's no way I can get it unsuspended. I'm on DeKalb County's time, so I'm just waiting. And it's been a year and 2 months.
Okay, what you should do, Mr. Baptiste, is get something in writing from the DeKalb County State Court so that if you're stopped again, you have something that you can show to the officer as proof. But as long as you're listed as suspended, every time you get stopped, you're going to get arrested if you don't have that.
Yes, sir. Last time I only got arrested in Clayton County, Shamley, APD, and it's another county. They just let me go because I guess I didn't have any warrant for my arrest at the time. But I completely understand what you're saying. I ain't trying to make no excuses or anything.
No, and just so you know, you can get arrested on a speeding ticket. It's always at the discretion of the officer whether to arrest you or to let you go.
Yes, sir.
Okay, anything else?
No, that'd be all.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, I did. I'm sorry. You're free to go back, Mr. Baptiste. Tell me your name, sir.
Darius Blades.
Mr. Blades, you've also been charged with 2 drug offenses, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, but you've also had another charge of possession of methamphetamine pills or amphetamine pills. All of these are felony offenses. I set the bond for each at $10,000, so you have a total bond of $40,000.
So what's the percentage?
I'm sorry?
What's the percentage, sir?
It'll probably be about $4,000, but you have to contact the bonding companies and they'll tell you exactly. Like, I don't work for them, so I'm not setting their prices. Okay. Do you believe you can pay this bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning, but that's going to be over Zoom hearing like we're having here today. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Blades, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Right.
Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, because when I got arrested, they never read me my rights at all.
That's something that'll get taken care of as your case proceeds down the road, but you definitely need to tell your lawyer that.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go back.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon. Tell me your name, sir.
Malik Jafar Briggs.
Okay, Mr. Briggs, you have been charged with a number of driving related offenses. You've been charged with 2 counts of DUI. I'm going to set bond at $5,000 for the DUI less safe and $2,000 for the DUI refusal. You have a reckless driving count, and that's going to be set at $1,500. The next 5 offenses, the bond is going to be set at $500. So the open container, improper lane change, too fast for conditions, improper passing of emergency vehicle, and littering on the highway. For each of those, the bond is going to be set at $500. You've also been charged with tampering with evidence. The bond is going to be set at $200. So you're going to have a total bond $13,500 if my math is correct. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Sir, yes, sir.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th. So that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I would look to see if I qualify, please, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Briggs, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, you're free to go back. You're welcome. Tell me your name, sir.
Antonio Crawford, sir.
Okay. Give me 1 second, Mr. Crawford. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of battery, 1 count of cruelty to children in the 1st degree, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 3rd degree. So for the first 2 counts, I've set bond at $5,000 apiece, so that's $10,000. And then the last count, I set the bond at $2,500. So your total bond is $12,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, Your Honor, but can I say something?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I'm not no family violent person or no violent person. And I'm sure you can go back to them and they can say the same thing. And any way you can lower that bond, please?
Well, based upon the allegation here, I'm gonna leave the bond the way that it is.
Cause I've never been in trouble. I ain't been in trouble in 10 years.
I understand the thing that bothers me, Mr. Crawford, is the allegation that you pushed a child into the wall.
I tapped her. I didn't really push her. I tapped her.
Well, that's the thing that concerns me. So that's where I've set the bond the way that it is. The battery at $5,000, that's the lowest that I could go. The cruelty to children in the 1st degree is actually a felony charge. So that, in my opinion, is kind of low. And I'm sorry.
I've never been a violent, a felony, person. Like,
well, what I could do, Mr. Crawford, is I could see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, which I did. And I could set hearing dates. But based upon what's in the allegation here, I'm not inclined to lower the bond.
You said how much the bond is?
Total bond is $12,500.
And with a bondsman, how much it'll be?
It's generally a percentage. Like I told the other gentleman, I don't work for the bonding company, so anything I tell you is like my guess. So my guess is that it's going to be about $1,200.
Okay.
But what you should do is contact the bonding companies, tell them your charges and the bond amount, and they will work with you. Some bonding companies will even put you on a payment plan.
Okay. You said 12,500?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Anything else, Mr. Crawford?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir.
Brandon Dillon.
Mr. Dillard, you've been charged with a number of offenses, and it appears from the warrants that is 3 separate occasions. So the aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, I'm not going to set a bond on that at this stage. For the family violence battery and the simple battery related to the incident from 2018, I'm setting the bond at $10,000 and $5,000 apiece. For the family violence battery and simple battery, family violence and family violence battery incident from 2019, I'm setting the bond at $10,000 apiece. For the family violence battery, criminal trespass, damage to property, allegations from 2021, I'm setting the bond at $10,000 and $5,000 respectfully. So right now you don't have a bond on the felony charge, but you have those bonds that I listed out as it relates to those misdemeanor charges. I also put a stay away provision on this whenever you get out to stay away from Renee Henley. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. Can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Because the lady was telling me about the destruction of property, but that's my house. So do I still get charged with that even though that's my house?
You can. Let me see what the property looks
Yeah,
like.
it said I punched a hole in the wall.
Okay. That's something that your lawyer can probably get dismissed if Ms. Henley has no property interest in that.
Yeah.
But if she does, like if she's paying rent there or something like that, you can theoretically get charged.
Yeah, but that's my house. It's paid off.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
then that charge is one that can probably easily get dismissed.
Okay. And
Would you like? I'm sorry, go ahead.
no, my bad. One more question. You said I have no bond for the weapon charge.
The aggravated assault, yes.
How did I catch an aggravated assault charge?
So the allegation in that warrant is that, excuse me, during an argument with Ms. Henley, you grabbed the knife and came after her with the knife.
And then, but I ain't touched nobody or nothing.
You don't have to actually touch them.
No, I get what you're saying, but it's off the wall to me that I'm hearing this saying I grabbed a knife and actually went after somebody. That's all. No, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, Mr. Henley, over a 4-year period, you've had what's this? 3, 6, 7, 8, 8 warrants taken out for you for essentially the same thing.
Over a 3-year period. I've been working every day. I have not had no questions about no warrants about nothing. And I was on probation, so I didn't know nothing about warrants. I'm on felony probation right now. I have no idea about a warrant. I had no idea about a warrant.
I understand. I'm setting preliminary hearing dates for April 12th and a bond hearing date for April 16th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
About how much do you make per month, Mr. Dillard?
Weekly, I really don't know.
How much do you make per hour?
I make $14.50.
Okay, you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me, Mr. Dillard?
So would I be able to find out or no?
No, not at this time.
So I won't be able to find out till I come to court again in April.
I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. What the lawyer can do is contact the DA's office and see if the lawyer can negotiate on your behalf. The fact that you're on probation is something that you need to be concerned about and pay attention to, because you could end up on a no bond situation just because of the probation. Like they could put a warrant out for your arrest based upon this arrest. Okay?
Yeah.
Any other questions, Mr. Dillard?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. What's your name, sir?
Michael Dixon.
Mr. Dixon, you've been charged with one drug offense, and I'm setting the bond at $10,000 for the drug offense, and you've been charged with 2 counts of use or possession of drug-related objects. Those are 2 misdemeanors. I'm setting the bond at $1,500 apiece, so you have a total bond of $13,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
You say, I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
You have a total bond of $13,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
13,000?
Yes, sir.
I'm saying, sir, I'm visiting here from out of town. The officer pulled me over inside of a vehicle that wasn't even mine, and I was the passenger inside of the vehicle. The driver never received a ticket or nothing, and then he said, okay, man, one of y'all are going to jail, or whatever, this and that. It's me and my brother. We're going to go pick up my nephew. We just got off in the car. I don't know nothing about nothing that's going on or nothing. I'm not even from here.
Okay. I understand.
But yes, sir, I'll be able to post the bond.
What you're raising is basically what's called an equal access defense. And that's something that could be a complete defense to this when this case gets to court.
Yes, sir.
All right. But it says that you claimed the book bag that had the marijuana and the scales in it.
No, sir.
Okay. So you're going to have, this is a felony charge. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date of April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. 10% of it. 1,300 would be. Is it 13? You said my bond was 13,000 or 1,300?
13,000. If you go through a bonding company, it'll be a percentage of the 13,000. You make a little bit too much money to qualify for the appointment of a lawyer. So you're gonna have to either hire your own lawyer or represent yourself. Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Dixon?
Can you give me a percent? What it was, 13,000. So it would be like 12 or 10% of that.
Roughly, yes. And what you'll need to do is contact the bonding companies, and they will tell you what they will charge, what fee they will charge.
Okay, because I have family out here, but I've been speaking with them last night, and then I was just trying to get here to get the bond, to be able to bond out.
Okay. All right. Any other questions, Mr. Dixon?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
for his esters.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of simple assault. I set the bond at $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yeah, yes.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry, Mr. Dixon. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Joseph Cloud. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
I'm sorry?
No.
Okay, you're going to hire your own lawyer?
Yeah.
Okay, and I said April 12th, but it was actually April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any other questions to me, Mr. Esters?
No.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Jeremy on.
Mr. Ewing, you've been charged with several offenses. Theft by receiving stolen property, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime, and violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Those are all felony offenses. I am not allowed to set bond on those offenses at this point because there's an indication in your criminal history that you are on probation. So that's going to have to get done at a second stage. For the other 4 offenses, the possession of marijuana less than an ounce, there's a $1,500 bond. There's a $1,000 bond for the no license charge, and $500 bonds apiece for the tenant window violation and the expired tag. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for April 12th, and I'm also setting a bond hearing date for April 16th. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
Are you currently working, Mr. Ewing? Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. The lawyer can speak to the district attorney's office on your behalf and see if they'll agree to a bond. So you don't have to sit here until your bond hearing date. There's a possibility that you could get released sooner, okay?
I got a question. You said, how do I go about my 4 felonies? Because I don't got no bond. You said I talk to who?
Your attorney, the attorney that I'm appointing to you, the paperwork goes out today. So they'll know that they've been appointed to represent you. And it'll be the Clayton County District Attorney's Office. So if you don't get a call or someone comes to see you within the next couple of days, I would call that office and tell them you need to speak to someone. Because of the virus and everything that's going on, I know that they've been working through a lot of stuff rather than waiting for a court date.
Yeah.
Anything else, sir?
I'm saying, like, so you said I don't gotta talk to my PO? Like, what?
Well,
like, what do I gotta do? So I go ahead and tell my people when I call them, cause I ain't trying to be in it too long.
Well, you probably need to contact your probation officer, someone, just to let them know that you've been arrested. Okay? All right. Anything else? All right. You're free to go back. What's your name, sir?
Antonio Harris. Tony Harris.
Mr. Harris, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and set a bond at $3,000, but I also put a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Larry Harris. Do you believe you can post this bond?
I don't have it on hand, but I have a job.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 13th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Or either a public defender, either or.
Was that a yes?
Yes, or either a public defender.
Okay. You do qualify, Mr. Harris. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me, sir?
Just stay away, what is that, a restraining order?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if I go by there, I live there, I have to bring an officer or something to get my stuff.
What you do is when you're going through the process of bonding out, inform the sheriff's office that you need to obtain some of your items and they'll make an appointment for you to go over and they'll be present while you get your items.
Okay, one more thing. When would the lawyer talk to me? Because I haven't called my job. They don't even know I'm locked up.
I don't know for certain, but I do know it'll be in the next couple days. They will get this paperwork today. And the law firm is Lister and Holt, Lister, second word Holt, Holt. If you haven't heard from someone in a couple days, you should contact the law firm and tell them your name, and they should have you in their files and that you need to speak to someone.
Okay, so that I just be here till April until they get in touch with me.
Or until you bond out.
Okay.
You can bond out today.
Okay, I need to write that down or something because I'm not gonna remember that name, that law firm. Okay.
Okay. Anything else, Mr. Harris?
That's all.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
Tell me your name, sir.
Samuel Height.
Mr. Height, you've been charged with 1 count of reckless driving, 1 count of running a red light, and 1 count of obstructing an officer. You're going to have a total bond set at $3,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, and I wanted to see what caused the obstruction of an officer. What was the real description of that?
It looks like they're trying to allege that you may have tried to essentially flee. Like it says you were driving at a high rate of speed, weaving in and out of traffic in a manner that created a dangerous condition. And it said you ran the red light at Tara Boulevard and Smith Street while making a U-turn. So I've read that as that's what they're alleging, that you were trying to flee from them.
And I really don't see how I even tried to flee, because when I saw the officer, I pulled over and he didn't even have his lights on until we pulled up into the witness driveway. And I was just then, like, I'm gonna say before, I was avoiding a traffic accident. It was a truck coming over to my lane. I'm gonna say I was coming from Jonesboro way, Frito-Lay, whatever. And I was avoiding a vehicle collision. So the vehicle was coming onto my lane. So I saw a chance to jump to the left lane and I took it. But the officer, it took 3, if I was really fleeing or anything, it took the officer 3 red lights to like really catch up with me or do something like that. Because if I was fleeing, I would have did something way different than that.
Well, I understand your argument, and this isn't the most easily read warrant, but it does make out the minimum qualifications for the charge at this stage. Remember when I said it's possible that it happened. You're not at the stage of being found guilty or not guilty. Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes.
About how much do you make per hour, Mr. Height?
15.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Hart?
So if I can find someone to bum me out today, will I have a chance to do so?
Yes, sir.
And will property be okay?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Okay, you're free to go back. What's your name, sir?
Marquez Host.
Mr. Hosley, you've been charged with 1 count of contributing to the delinquency of a minor and 1 count of obstructing an officer. You're gonna have a total bond set at $7,000. Do you believe you can post that?
Question.
Hold on. Answer my question and then I'll let you ask a question. Do you believe you can post the bond?
Do I believe, can I post the bond?
Yes. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes, I can. But
okay, what's your question?
First off, like I explained to the officer last night, so I work at DHL. I work 3 to 11. I didn't get off the clock till 11 o'clock last night, a little after 11 o'clock. And proceeding back to Clayton County, I took the expressway. I came down 75 and got off on Stockbridge because not Stockbridge, Mount Zion, because I was called for to pick someone up and drop them off at their home. Now I was paid to do so. In the process of being paid to drop this person off at home, Clay kind of pulled me over heading towards Kroger. I didn't do anything wrong, and they even at the same time, they also questioned me. They also questioned me in the sense of everything I was saying was lying.
Okay. I mean, so at this stage, Mr. Hosley, I take everything that you tell me as being true and everything that's in the sworn affidavit as being true. That's why I was saying before, like, this isn't a trial. So
I
this
asked
is.
I asked them all last night. What was that that they called out? Because the only thing they originally said was obstruction of justice, but then they said that first he said contribute, then he said delinquent. I mean, he gave me like 2 or 3 different things.
So what's in the sworn affidavit that I read was that this person, that juvenile person that was with you, was a runaway.
No.
Again, I believe you, but the bond is still set at $7,000. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah.
About how much do you make per hour?
15.
Okay, you qualify, Mr. Hosley. You're gonna have a bond hearing date, preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 13th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. So, Mr. Hosley, how do you know that this person you picked up wasn't a runaway?
I mean, look, I stay out Kendra Road. Her sister.
Wait. How does that apply? Wait a minute, Mr. Hosley. How do where you live apply to whether you knew that person was a runaway or not? Because you said you got a phone call.
I didn't know she was a runaway.
Okay, when I said she was a runaway, you're like, no.
Right, because I didn't know she was a runaway. That's what I'm explaining to you. I was getting the call.
The fact that you don't know she was a runaway doesn't mean she wasn't a runaway.
Look, her sister called me and told me bring him home, bro. That's all. Didn't nobody call and inform me. Nobody called the house or asked them girls anything. Only thing I was doing is dropping off the individual, and which they seen it. There was I got booked with work clothes on. Come on now.
So, Mr. Hosley, if everything you're telling me is true, these charges will be dismissed.
Yeah, they're gonna be dismissed because I got if I even gotta go pull the clock from the job, man. So I had no time to be doing no unnecessary bullcrap.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Hosley. Are you scheduled to work today?
Yes, I'm about to lose my job today if I can't get out.
Well, the longer you talk to me, the longer it's going to take them to process the paperwork. And
I'm done.
So, okay, you're free to go back.
All right.
I'm Mario.
Okay, Mr. Huff, you've been charged with 2 drug-related offenses, and use or possession of a drug-related object and possession of marijuana less than an ounce.
Yes, sir.
There's an indication in your criminal history that you're on probation. So I can't set a bond on the 2 felony offenses, but I've set a bond at $1,500 apiece on the other 2 offenses. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for April 12th and a bond hearing date for April 16th. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Huff. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
Yes, sir. I want to ask, like, the officer was telling me that he knew I went out of town and he knew I stayed there. I'm trying to figure out, like where that came from.
I have no idea. I don't know this officer, and I don't know anything other than what is in the warrant.
Oh, that's it, man.
Anything else, Mr. Huff?
Nah, that's it.
Okay, you're free to go back. Have your name, sir?
Clayton Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins, you've been charged with 1 count of robbery and 1 count of simple battery. Bond is going to be denied at this point on the robbery charge. I've set a $5,000 bond on the simple battery and a stay away provision to stay away from Janelle Jenkins, who is the alleged victim in this case. I'm setting a preliminary hearing date for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. And that's going to be over Zoom like we're having here. But I'm also setting a preliminary hearing date, bond hearing date for April 16th. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, Mr. Jenkins. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Haji Kijara.
Mr. Kijera, you've been charged with 1 count of battery. I've set the bond at $5,000 for that, but I've also placed a stay away provision on your bond to stay away from Quenisha Slayton. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
When you say stay away from her, like you mean we can't be together?
Correct. Unless this provision is changed, it can be changed, but it'll have to be changed with the solicitor's office. They're the prosecutors. Like she
And
can.
what's the percentage that I'm supposed to pay?
I'm sorry?
What's the percentage of the 5,000 that I'm supposed to pay?
Okay, so it's generally about 10%, but I don't work for the bonding companies and I don't set their fees.
Yeah,
so you're gonna have to contact them to have them tell you what they will actually charge you. Okay?
Thank you.
Wait 1 second. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. If I have access to a phone, I'm actually going out today.
So you're gonna hire your own lawyer?
No, I'm just gonna call my dad and he will pay.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with the bond. You have a right to a lawyer. You can hire your own lawyer, you can represent yourself, or if you qualify, I can appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Represent myself where? Like, do I have another court date?
There's an April 12th date, April 13th date that's set, but that date is gonna go away when you bond out. And let me finish, please.
I'm sorry, sir.
And you'll receive a new date in the mail. So what do you want to do about the lawyer?
I mean, I'm fine. I represent myself. I'm sure I'll pay before that.
Okay. If you don't have any other questions, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Dennis Marble.
Mr. Marble, you've been charged with 1 count of carrying a concealed weapon without a license. The bond is automatically set at $5,000 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for April 13th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out.
Yes, sir.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, Mr. Marble. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Your name, my name is John Russell Miller.
Mr. Miller, you've been charged with 1 count of child abandonment. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Oh, yes, I think my people have already got it.
Okay. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 13th, but that date is gonna get waived upon your bonding out. Excuse me. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, you do qualify, Mr. Miller. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Would I be able to put up property or do I need cash?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir.
Henry Prince.
Did you say Mr. Munson?
Henry Prince.
Okay, sorry. Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault by strangulation, 1 count of battery, and 1 count of cruelty to children in the 1st degree. Because you don't really have a criminal history, I've set a bond on the aggravated assault charge at $15,000. I've set the bond for the other 2 offenses at $5,000 apiece. So you have a total bond of $25,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
See if I qualify.
You do qualify, sir, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date that's gonna be set for April 12th. But your case will get bound over to Superior Court, and that hearing date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Danny Smith.
Mr. Smith, you've been charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 1 count of cruelty to children. Looks like in the 3rd degree. Both of these are misdemeanors. You're gonna have a total bond set at $7,500. But there's gonna be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Brianna Winder. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
Yes, sir.
And do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Smith. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
I'm sorry. How fast will that post to the system so I can get bailed out?
Well, what happens is when I'm done with this proceeding, I put all the paperwork together and I send it back over to the sheriff's department, and then they get to working on it. So the longer I'm here, the longer it'll take for you to bond out. So, but you should be able to bond out later today.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Or true.
Mr. Truitt, you've been charged with 1 count of battery against a pregnant female. The bond's going to be set at $10,000 for that. And you're going to also have a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Nandy Hamner. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
How much you said it was again?
$10,000.
Yes, sir.
Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes, sir.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Truitt. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Octavius Walker.
Mr. Walker, you've been charged with 2 drug offenses, and you've also been charged with use or possession of drug-related objects and possession of marijuana. I've set the bond for the 2 felony drug offenses at $10,000 each, and I've set the bond for the 2 other offenses at $3,000. Well, $1,500, but $3,000 total. So you have a total bond of $23,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I'm gonna try my hardest, but to my utmost, can I say something?
Yes, sir.
I was just at the wrong place at the wrong time. You know what I'm saying? I ain't do nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
And that was, I saw that there were several people charged with the same offense.
I ain't do nothing wrong, honey. They just booked me in.
I understand, Mr. Walker. Would you like for me to appoint you a lawyer?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna try to make bond, but you know.
So the appointing of the lawyer is not even connected to the bond. Okay, you have a right to hire your own lawyer. You have a right to represent yourself, or if you qualify, you have a right to an appointed lawyer. So what is it that you want me to do?
I'll try to get use a public defender.
Okay, you qualify, Mr. Walker, so I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning, and that date will get waived upon your bonding out. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
You said it's 23,000?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're free to go.
Good afternoon, Joseph Wesley.
Good afternoon, Mr. Wesley. You've been charged with 3 driving-related offenses. 1 is driving on a suspended or revoked license, a defective equipment charge, and driving with a cracked windshield. You're going to have a total bond of $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. But can I say
Yes,
something?
sir. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just informed that my tail light was out that day, and I was getting appointed to get it fixed. So could that be reduced or dropped?
At this stage, no, but that's possible at the next stage.
Okay, and the repercussions, usually after I bail out, what are the repercussions for driving with a revoked license?
Every time you get stopped, you'll get arrested, and you'll get another $1,500 bond.
But so there's no ticket after I get out. Just don't do it again.
Well, each time you drive,
I understand.
yeah, you can get another charge.
Okay.
Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No.
Okay, you're gonna hire your own lawyer? Or represent yourself?
Yeah, I'm representing myself.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Wesley?
Are there fines for the cracked windshield and the tail light afterwards as well?
Honestly, I don't know, because I've never dealt with that here, but I know in some jurisdictions, they just convert the bond over to as like it's a fine.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else?
No.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Judge.
Good afternoon.
My name's Max Aitchison Wyrick.
Okay, sir, your charge is going to be dismissed because there's a technical issue. Whenever you charge somebody with a battery or a simple battery that you've been charged, you have to name the alleged victim, and the officer did not name the alleged victim.
Okay.
So that is going to be dismissed here, but it doesn't mean that you can't ever be charged with this, or the solicitor's office can't pick it up. So do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Wyrick?
No, I don't, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you, sir. And I wanted to show you one thing. The police officer wanted me to show you this piece of paper that I have. Okay, so yeah, thank you, sir.
Okay. What's your name, sir?
Laurent White.
Mr. White, you've been charged with 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. The bond is automatically set at $1,500 for that. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir. I believe it was already paid last night.
Okay. So you should be free to go when this paperwork gets done. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out.
Okay.
Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I'm going to hire my own lawyer.
Okay. If you don't have any questions for me, Mr. White, you're free to go back.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Good evening, Judge. I'm Cartrell Williams.
Mr. Williams, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of simple battery. This criminal trespass bond has been automatically set at $530. The simple battery charge, I'm setting a bond at $4,000, but I'm also putting a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Tiki Sullivan. Do you believe you can post this bond, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. Do you understand the stay away provision?
Yes.
Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
You do qualify, Mr. Williams. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me, sir?
No, sir. He says 1 bond is 4,000, other is 500.
Yeah, so you have a total bond of $4,530.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. Bye.
How you doing? My name is Brian Wilson.
Mr. Wilson, you have 2 driving-related offenses. The total bond is going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post this bond?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for April 13th, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out.
I got a question though.
Yes, sir.
I recently just got arrested for registration like 3 weeks ago, and I had got everything fixed. Like the same that I got arrested too as well. They lost my phone, so the fines I was supposed to pay for that night, I didn't pay it because they were supposed to reimburse me for my phone, so I could pay it.
Okay.
And I've been reaching out to it happened at Zone 6 precinct, the Boulevard precinct. I've been trying to contact the supervisor, everything. That nobody reached out back to me or nothing.
Let me ask you this, Mr. Wilson. It looks like you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer, and the lawyer can clear all of this stuff up. Would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
You saying it can be clear, or you just guessing?
I'm not. The lawyer can clear it up.
That's all. Because I don't want to keep getting charged for the same thing when I already fixed it. Y'all basically didn't update the system, so now it's just like I'm just keep getting W-winged like every time. Like I'm just trying to prevent this from next time.
And that's why I'm trying to appoint a lawyer to represent you so that everything is done right.
Yeah, you can put a lawyer for me.
Okay. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Wilson?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Is that it?
Yes, that's all we have in the courtroom, Your Honor. You got one more? You got one more?
Mr. Yancey?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Evans, this is Evans, sir. Evans? Yes, sir. Come on up here.
Okay, so Mr. Evans is gonna make it?
Yeah, keep your hands behind your back, though. No, keep your mask on, too.
Okay.
Mr. Evans, you've been charged with one count of pedestrian soliciting for money. The bond is automatically set for that at $500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, I can't set the bond right at the moment, but I'll just sit out the time in jail if that's all right, sir.
Okay. Would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
No, I don't think that'd be necessary. That's just a couple days. I figure it's probably a couple days in jail. I figure.
That's not a guarantee, Mr. Evans. Do you understand what I'm saying? So
I'm going back to Oregon.
Okay.
I'm going back to the West Coast, so I'm not going to be staying around here. I was just standing there trying to get a ride back to Oregon is what I was trying to do.
Okay. Would you like for me to appoint a lawyer for you, Mr. Evans, that can probably get this all worked out? Because it sounds like you're saying you just want to do the time and get out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I'll take the lawyer. I'll take the attorney.
Okay.
I just didn't want to sit there and spend a bunch of time in jail when I could have just get it done and get it over with and get out of here. But
okay.
It's pretty. I mean, it's only a $500 fine, basically, right?
Yes, and I'm going to make a notation that you want to plead guilty, and so that'll get this all worked out. Okay.
I'll sit down and talk with your lawyer and stuff for a moment, and explain what was going on, so you have some type of an idea of exactly, I wasn't like out there I wasn't trying to get alcohol or anything like that. I was just trying to, I was just up the road from the airport there, so I was trying to get a bus ticket and trying to get back to the airport and get a bus ticket and take off back to Oregon. So.
Okay.
Actually, I was on my way back to Albuquerque because I have another attorney in Albuquerque that I have to go see. So that's actually where I was kind of actually heading back to Albuquerque, New Mexico. And so for a brief moment, and then I'm back up to Oregon.
Okay. Well, you're free to go back, Mr. Evans.
I am. Okay, thanks, sir. Have a great day.
Okay, you too. While we're waiting on Mr. Yancey, let me make sure that I get myself straight. Is William Craig OTB?
Double check Craig. Says not active yet. Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Garcia Oliquin?
Garcia, they said, made bond, and he bonded out.
Okay. And I was told that Jimmy Goodrum has bonded out.
Goodrum. I can check on that one, Your Honor. I'm not too sure about that one.
Okay. What about Patrick Landrum?
Landrum. Yes, sir. He's bonded out, Your Honor.
Okay. Romario McClinton.
McClinton. Not active. He bonded out, Your Honor.
Okay. And Joshua Munson.
Munson, Joshua. I believe they said Munson. I could check. I need to check on that one real quick, Your Honor.
Okay.
Hey, do me a favor, sir. Ask your licensing officer and go about Munson real quick. Munson, Joshua Munson. You gotta do it real quick though. I believe they told me he bonded up. I'm about to double check on that one, Your Honor.
Okay. That's his CAA form is blank, so.
Okay, I'm gonna check on that right now. Munson.
Today has been an interesting day.
As far as the count of people, or
not the count. I don't know. It's just got a lot of strange questions today.
Oh, okay. I'm about to get that information right now, Your Honor. Give me about a minute or two. I have it.
No problem. I'm just doing my paperwork. And Mr. Yancey, are you sure he's there?
Mr. Yancey.
Ronald Yancey?
Let me check on him too. Give me 1 minute. So Yancey and
Munson. Yes.
All right, give me 1 minute, Your Honor. Let me physically go there real quick.
Okay.
Yancey and Munson. Okay, Your Honor, I got both of them coming.
Okay.
They were able to locate both of them.
Okay.
Sorry about the delay.
Oh, no problem. I got enough work to keep me busy.
Shoot. What's your name, sir? Munson. You were down here earlier? Yes, sir. All right, go ahead, face it. You know, tell the judge your name.
How you doing, Judge? My name is Joshua Munson.
Good afternoon, Mr. Munson. You were charged with one count of possessing a firearm with an altered serial number. The bond for that is going to be set at $5,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is going to be a felony offense. So you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for April 12th at 8:30 in the morning. And that's going to be over Zoom like we're having here today. Once you bond out, that date is probably going to get changed to something and you will receive a notice in the mail.
Okay.
Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Or are you going to represent yourself, or you can?
I definitely not representing myself. I'm going for a paid attorney.
Okay.
But I guess you can start me out with a public defender for now until I'm able to get one.
Okay. Are you currently employed?
Yes, I own a cleaning business.
You own a cleaning business?
Correct.
Okay. About how much do you make per month on average?
On an average, I make anywhere from $3,800 to $4,500.
Okay. That's close to the line, but you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. And you can hire your own lawyer if you want.
Okay.
Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Munson?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna have Yancy for you in about less than a minute, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, I got him coming now. Mr. Yancy, he was in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Mr. Yancy?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah, you can roll, please.
Where
Up there with the other, judge. Been up there since 9:12 this morning.
Okay, I'm trying to figure out how we're gonna do
This
this.
ain't gonna happen like this.
Which way?
Mr. Yancey, good afternoon, sir.
How you doing, sir?
I'm doing fine. You've been charged with one count of misdemeanor theft by shoplifting. The bond for that is automatically set, and it's going to be set at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be April 13th at 8:30 in the morning, but that date is going to get waived upon your bonding out. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer representing yourself, or do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I need, I'm gonna see if I can hire one first, but if I can't, can I get a court appointed?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay, well, when I get out, I'm gonna see if I can hire one. If I can't, I'll still wanna use that option too.
Okay. Do you have any questions of me, Mr. Yancey?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay, you're free to go back. Have a good day.
Okay. Can I, oh yeah, do I have to go to the preliminary hearing?
No, sir. That date is gonna get waived when you bond out, which means that as soon as you leave the jail, that date no longer exists, and you'll receive a new date in the mail.
Okay, thank you, sir. I just didn't want to get no boo-boos.
No, I understand.
You gotta do everything right.
Yes, sir. Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you. You look dangerous. You look dangerous. I don't want to be here for.
That's it, Your Honor.